We are going to get started here soon. My name is Ashley. I am the athletic trainer for recreational sports here at VCU. I mainly work with sport clubs and intramurals, but I'm also working on becoming a yoga instructor on the side. So very excited. This is my first chair yoga class. I'm really excited to share that opportunity with all of you. We are going to get a lot of good stretches, especially for those who are teleworking right now. It's real harsh on the shoulders, the back. We are going to stretch y'all out. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have some new experiences at the same time. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be starting in a seated position in our chairs. And we're going to start with some pranayama, which is a breathing technique. There's a lot of breathing techniques you can utilize. This one is called a 3-part breath. So what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in almost as if we were filling our bodies full of a liquid. So we're going to start by filling up the belly, the chest, all the way up into the throat. And then we're going to exhale and just empty that vessel at the same time. Okay, so whenever you're ready, get nice and comfortable, shoulders back and down, nice and relaxed with our feet. And we're going to breathe in, inhale, filling the body up with breath from the belly all the way up through the chest, into the neck, and exhale. Breathing in again. Good, and exhale. Option to put a hand on the belly and on the chest. That way you can feel your breath going in and out. So again, inhale, nice and deep. Good, and exhale. Good, one more time on your own. Nice full belly breaths with this one. Imagine filling that vessel full of oxygen, depleting that carbon dioxide out of our bodies. Good, everybody feel nice and warmed up now? We're gonna stretch out our neck a little bit. So sitting right here, shoulders back and down, just like we were before. We're just gonna tilt our neck to the left side of our body. Good, if you feel like we need a little bit more of a stretch, you can always just gently tilt the head a little bit further. Good, bringing our necks back up to a neutral position. And dropping it off to the right side now. Good, getting a nice deep stretch in those neck supporting muscles. Neutral position of the neck, dropping back down to the left. Beautiful. Bringing ourselves up into a neutral position again. And last time to the right side, dropping our necks down. Good, like I said, option, you can always just gently guide your head a little bit further, always to whatever is comfortable. Beautiful, back up into our neutral position. Now we're gonna roll out our shoulders a little bit, especially if you are doing a lot of computer work right now, definitely wanna release some of that tension in the shoulders. So what we're going to do is our shoulders, we're going to roll up almost as if we were bringing our shoulders into our ears, back, and then bringing them back down into the floor. So we're going to do them into this type of a pattern first, then we're going to bring them the opposite direction. Okay, so bringing our shoulders up into our ears, back and down. Good. Going at your own pace with this one, really making it your own. That's what I love about yoga. Yoga, you can do whatever you want as long as it is comfortable for your body. You can pretty much give your body whatever it feels like it needs for the day. Good, let's do 2 more. Bring our shoulders up, back and down. Good, one more time. Good, now let's go the opposite direction with this. So bringing our shoulders up and forward with it this time. Up and forward. Good, this helps relieve a lot of tension in the upper back, as well as getting a little bit more mobility in those shoulders. Beautiful. At our own pace with this one. Beautiful. This is going to be great, especially whenever we get into our poses later. We can always use a little bit more shoulder mobility. Good. Let's do 2 more. Good. Last one. Beautiful. Now we're going to stretch out our hamstrings just a little bit. So we're going to bring our right knee into our chest, making sure our shoulders are staying back and down. Back is nice and flat. Bringing that knee in towards the chest. Good. Exhale and release. Bringing the left leg in. Left knee, bringing into the chest, squeezing that air out of our bodies. Good, bringing it back down towards the mat. Go get your own pace with this one. This one is great, especially sitting for longer periods of time. Your bodies definitely need that little bit more of a stretch to them. This one helps out, especially with problems with sciatica, lower back issues. It helps stretch everything out, makes it a little bit more comfortable, especially for those days where you are doing a lot of office work. Good, let's do 1 more on each side this time. Good, and last one. Beautiful. Now we're going to get a little bit of core work, and a lot of people think you can't do core work sitting in a chair. We're definitely going to utilize that today. So first thing we're going to do is a modified bicycle. We're going to bring our left knee into our chest, and our right shoulder is going to come down towards it. So we're going to squeeze in and then release. And then we're going to go the same thing, right leg into left shoulder. Okay, so whenever you're ready, bringing the left knee in, right shoulder comes across. Good, bringing it back down. Right knee comes up. Good, and back down, releasing. Do this one on your own, with your own pace with this one. This is also a great alternative if you are having a little bit of lower back discomfort. It's a great way to kind of bring yourself into an upright position instead of reaching down towards the floor, which can cause a lot of lumbar back issues. Beautiful. Let's do 2 more on each side. Good, last set. Beautiful. Now we're going to do a modified spinal balance. So what we're going to do is right arm is going to go up towards the ceiling, and our left leg is going to stretch out right in front of us. As we bring everything in, we're squeezing that abdomen, bringing everything back down to neutral. So same thing, but on the other side, left arm goes up, right leg goes out. Good, squeezing as we come in and back down. Going up with the right side, making sure shoulders stay back and down, chest is going up towards the ceiling, squeezing as we come down. Right leg, left arm. Beautiful. Let's do 1 more on each side. This is a great way to kind of lengthen your spine as well as stretch out the musculature on the back side of your body that can get really tight during that work day. Beautiful. Coming back down. Modified seated cat-cow. So cat, we're going to round our shoulders in and tucking our chin in towards our chest, squeezing the abdomen, arching those shoulders. In cow, we're going to tuck our chin up towards the ceiling, arch those shoulders back. Good. Bring ourselves into a cat position. So rounding those shoulders, squeezing the abdomen, chin in towards the chest. Good. Bringing ourselves into cow, rounding the shoulders back, looking up towards the ceiling or wherever is comfortable. Good. Let's do 2 more of these. This is a great way to stretch out your shoulders, your spine, as well as just to lengthen the muscles in your neck as well, all of which can get really tight this time of year. Good. Now we're going to move into some static sciatic flossing. So I'm gonna explain that a little bit. That sciatic nerve that runs towards the back side of your leg, we're gonna stretch that out a little bit. So just like we were with cow, we're gonna tilt our chin up towards the ceiling, and we're going to lift that right leg, like we were doing before with the spinal balance. So we're just going to lift right leg up, looking up towards the ceiling. Good, and then tucking the chin in towards the chest, bringing the right leg back down towards the floor. And again, but on the left side, so looking up towards the ceiling, extending that left leg out. Good, and back down towards the floor, tucking the chin in towards the chest. Let's do one more on each side. So right leg comes out, extending, looking up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Bending the leg back down towards the floor. Left leg comes out, so extending that left leg, looking up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Bringing ourselves back down into a neutral position. Now we're going to stand ourselves up and move ourselves to the side of our chair. I'm going to give you a couple options with this next one. We're going to do a lateral bend, which is going to stretch out the sides of our body. So bringing our right arm up towards the ceiling, we're just going to reach ourselves up towards the ceiling. We're not going to lean. We're just going to reach ourselves up. And that's going to help us stretch out the entire right side of our body. If we want a little bit more, we can put our left leg onto the chair and bring our right leg out a little bit, almost like a modified star position. Beautiful. This one is a great way to stretch out, lengthening the spine, kind of just bringing yourselves back into a neutral position. Beautiful. Coming on back down, moving on to the left side of our chair. We can either move up with our left arm, stretching up towards the ceiling, or if we feel like we need a little bit more of an inner leg stretch, we can definitely put the right leg on the side of the chair. Left leg comes out, reaching, modified. Basically, this is going to be a modified gate pose. Beautiful. Lengthening the spine, looking up, or we can look into a neutral position, whichever one is comfortable for you. Beautiful. Coming on back down. We're going to come towards the back side of our chair. So I'm just going to move mine forward just a little bit. Beautiful. So moonflowers. We are going to straddle our chair just a little bit. We're going to externally rotate those feet out a little bit towards the edges of our mats. Back with the shoulders, back and down. Reaching up towards the ceiling. Raising the chest up towards the ceiling. As we get to this position, we're going to bend into a squat and we're going to reach almost like cactus arms into a moonflower position. Good. So as we extend our arms, we're going to straighten our legs. Good. Coming down, squeezing those shoulders as we come back down, keeping that nice squatted position. Good. Let's do two more of these. Good. And last one. Squeezing as we come down. Good. I'm just going to move my chair towards the side here. Good. Now, as we're facing the back side of our chair, my chair is going to be over here. We're going to do a lunge position. So we're going to stand behind our chair, kicking that right leg back. We're going to go into a lunge. You can always utilize your chair for just a little bit more support. Making sure the shoulders are back and down. Good. Kicking that left leg back. We're going to meet into a forward fold, just stretching it out those shoulders just a little bit more. Beautiful. Coming on in, back to our lunge. We're going to kick that right leg forward. Good. This is our lunge position. And coming back down, we're going to go into a chair pose. So chair, we're standing on the back side of our chair here. We're going to reach our arms up towards the ceiling. As we come down, we're squeezing into a modified squatting position. Coming on back up towards the ceiling. Good, flowing through that chair pattern. If our shoulders are being bothersome for us today, we can always drop the shoulders back down and put our hands on our hips. Good, flowing through, let's do one more. And down, beautiful. Standing on back up into our mountain pose, we're gonna be doing some chest expansion. So just imagine that you have a beach ball behind you. So we're not trying to do a whole lot of chest expansion, just a wee little bit. So closing ourselves with that beach ball behind our backs. Good, and then reaching around, imagining we have our beach ball right in front of us here. Good, and back with that beach ball. This is chest expansion and contraction. Let's do one more of each. Beautiful, and one more. Awesome. Standing on the back side of our chair, we're going to kick that left leg back into that lunging position. Good, we're gonna externally rotate that left foot into our warrior pose. So just a 45-degree angle with that back leg. Reaching the arms up, our hips are squared towards the front side where our chair is. Reaching our arms up, this is our warrior one pose. If our shoulders are being bothersome for us today, we can always drop our shoulders back down to our hips. Beautiful, holding this pose. Feeling the lengthening of our legs, strengthening of our hips. Beautiful. Now let's rotate that back leg towards a 90-degree angle, and we're gonna rotate our hips towards the side. So if this is our chair, we're rotating towards the side, making sure that front leg, that right leg is still facing the chair, reaching ourselves into our warrior two pose. Option to always drop the shoulders back down towards the hips. Beautiful. Now from here, we're gonna go into our reverse warrior pose. So we are going to take that right arm, flip our palm up towards the ceiling, go up towards the ceiling with that right palm. Our left arm goes down towards the left leg. Option to hold this pose or going into an extended side angle flow. So I'm going to show you that right now. So from here, we're going to go into our warrior three. We're going to drop the right arm down towards the knee. Our left arm goes up towards the ceiling into a side angle. Option to extend side angle. So just reaching that arm overhead. Beautiful. Coming back down, reverse warrior. Remember, option to always stick with that reverse warrior pose, or we can flow with our extended side angle. So just holding that, few more breaths. Beautiful. Good, bringing ourselves back into a lunge position. So that left leg, we're gonna rotate towards our back of our chair, bringing it in a little bit so both legs are facing the back side of our chair. Lunge position. Beautiful. From here, we are going to kick that right leg back just enough so that we can reach down towards our chair. So bringing ourselves into our chair, this is our forward fold. Beautiful. This is a great stretch to utilize ourselves with. From here, we're going to go into our modified airplane. So we're going to bring our left leg back. So our warrior three, bringing the knee in towards the chest. So we're going to flow with this one. Option to always stay in that forward fold, or we can go and flow into our warrior three. Beautiful. This is also helping our balance and hip stability at the same time. Beautiful. One more. Holding that position. Good. Bringing ourselves back into our lunge. So kicking that right leg forward, left leg back. Rotating that back leg into our warrior two pose. So bringing it to a 90-degree angle with our left leg, right leg staying forward. Our warrior two pose. From here, we are going to go into our triangle pose. So we are actually going to straighten that front knee, bringing our hips forward a little bit, dropping our right arm down towards our right leg, and our left arm goes up towards the ceiling. Imagining you have yourself up against a wall, making sure you squeeze those shoulder blades behind you. Good, bringing ourselves back into our warrior two position. Good, rotating that left leg towards the chair, bringing it towards the back of the chair, resting in our mountain pose. So mountain pose, reaching our arms back and down, chest is lifted towards the ceiling. Beautiful. We're gonna do the same flow, but on the other side now. So I'm gonna utilize this chair so it's easier for you all to follow. We're going to kick our right leg back into our lunge. So lunging position. Good. Rotating that back leg, 45-degree angle. We're gonna go into our warrior one pose. Good, from here, rotating that back leg 90 degrees. Hips bring ourselves back towards basically the side of our mat. Warrior two. Beautiful, from here, we're gonna go into our reverse warrior. So our left arm, we're gonna flip up towards the ceiling. Our right arm goes down towards our leg. Option to stay here or to flow into our extended side angle. So from here, bringing the left arm towards the left leg, right arm comes overhead. And then you can flow stretching out both sides of the body. Good, one more deep breath. Beautiful. From here, we're gonna rotate that back leg towards the chair into our lunging position. And we're gonna go into our forward fold. So going down towards the mat, reaching the shoulders overhead. Beautiful. From here, we're gonna go into our warrior three airplane, or we can always stay in forward fold. So from here, we're going to lift that right leg and then bring it in towards our chest. Just flowing at your own pace, bringing that knee in towards the chest and bringing it away from you. Working on that balance, holding that core position. Beautiful, let's do two more of these. Beautiful. Meeting in that forward fold position. We're gonna bring the left leg towards our chair. Right leg is gonna be kicked back a little bit. We're gonna meet in that lunge position that we did earlier. Beautiful. From here, we're gonna go back into our warrior two legs. So that right leg, we're gonna rotate 90 degrees into our warrior two arms. Good. From here, we're going to straighten that left leg. So we're going to straighten that knee a little bit, pushing our weight forward, going down into our triangle position. If you can't get down all the way to the floor, do not panic. Just put your arm wherever it feels comfortable, even if it's resting on your knee. The whole point is just opening the chest up with this one. Beautiful. Squeezing our core, let's go back into our warrior two position. Good, rotating that right leg, we're gonna meet into our lunge position one more time. Drawing our right leg, we're going to meet into our mountain pose. Chest expansion and chest contraction. So imagining that beach ball we have behind us, so squeezing that beach ball. Good, and then imagining it's right in front of you. Beautiful, flowing with the breath. So drawing the breath in as we rotate our arms back towards our body. Good, exhaling, we squeeze all the air out of our chest. Let's do one more of each. Beautiful. Now we're going to work on a little bit of balance. So we are going to go into our tree pose. Tree pose, if I'm standing, I need a little bit more support. You can always utilize that chair. I'm just going to be to the right of my chair right now. Almost similar to that lateral bend we did earlier. We are going to bring our right leg towards the base of our ankle. If we are comfortable here, we can absolutely stay here. If we want a little bit more of a challenge, we can draw our knee up. Good, hands to heart center. We can always utilize that chair for a little bit more support as well. Beautiful. Option to always have the hands to heart center, or if we feel like being a little bit silly today, we can always stretch our branches out. I don't know if it's windy where you guys are, but it was definitely windy earlier here today. Utilizing that wind in with the breath. Good, drawing the leg back down towards the floor. We're going to switch to the left side of our chair. So similar concept, we're going to be doing our tree pose, but with our left leg. So if we are comfortable having our foot towards our ankle, we can absolutely leave it here. Option to draw with our strength up towards the knee with that left leg. If we need to utilize the chair, we absolutely can. We can also use our Anjali Mudra, which is our hands to heart center. Option to always use our funky windy branches as well. So reaching out, being as wacky as you possibly want to, making it a little bit more fun for your personal practice. Good, drawing the hands back to heart center. Inhaling, taking a deep breath in. Exhaling, drawing the left leg back down towards the mat. Beautiful. Having a seat in our chair. We're going to stretch out just a little bit more. So our seated spinal twist. So facing forward, we're going to take our right arm and cross it over towards our left shoulder. Beautiful. Making sure the shoulders are back and down. This is a great way to stretch out the thoracic vertebrae, basically our mid-back. Good. And switching to the other side. So left arm comes around to the right shoulder and draws itself back into the chair. Beautiful. Facing the center of our chair. We're going to externally rotate our legs just a little bit into a seated straddle squat. So spreading the legs, it's going to stretch the inside of our legs here and just drawing the chest towards the chair. Option to always sitting back upright, or if you want a little bit more of a stretch, this is a great alternative to a butterfly stretch. And it's a lot more back friendly as well. Beautiful. From here, we're going to rotate our right leg and we are going to draw ourselves towards the corner of our chair. We're going to be doing a hip flexor stretch. So this is our modified lunge stretch. Remember before how we were doing our lunge? Basically the same concept, but we're sitting in a chair. So that right leg is drawn back. Option to always warrior one hands. If we're being cautious of our shoulders today, we can always drop the hands down towards the hips as well, drawing the chest up towards the ceiling. Good, and switching to the other side at our own pace. So drawing back into our straddle squat position. Beautiful. Lunging with the right leg forward, left leg back. Option to always draw our hands upwards into our warrior one. We can bring our hands into heart center, or we can draw them back down towards the hips as well. This is a great way to stretch out those hip flexors as well as to stretch out the abdomen just a little bit as well. Beautiful. From here, if we have a yoga strap, we can absolutely utilize it. Or if you have a t-shirt, anything lying around, you can absolutely use that. If you don't have any of those things, don't panic. I'm going to show you how to utilize something else. So if we have a yoga strap, we are just going to wrap it around the ball of our right foot and draw it out towards the right side of our body. This is a great way to stretch out the hamstrings as well as the groin a little bit. If we don't have a yoga strap, we can draw ourselves down towards the floor, bringing the right leg up and bringing it to the side of our body. Either way is perfectly acceptable. Good, drawing that right leg down, bringing the left leg up, same fashion. Towards the left side of our body. Beautiful, bringing ourselves back into our original seated position for our final relaxation. As we draw our breath in, reaching up towards the ceiling. Imagining we're meeting ourselves with a string overhead, drawing that string into our heart center. Closing the eyes. Focusing on the breath. Our breath is a very powerful thing. With all the craziness happening around us, the one thing that we can always control is our breath. The air drawing ourselves in, bringing oxygen to our vital organs, and expelling that carbon dioxide back into the world. As we go through the practice that we focused on today, I encourage you to incorporate this into your daily routine. Making sure that we stay stretched and hydrated, healthy, and happy. As we draw our arms up towards the ceiling one last time, Drawing that imaginary string down into our heart. The light in me recognizes the light in you. Thank you so much for joining me in my practice today. As we bow our heads, we say namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in my practice today. I hope you guys had a wonderful time. I'm going to be around for about 5 more minutes. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to either unmute yourselves or you can always use yourself in the chat function as well.